Hello and welcome to Setting Up a Wordpress.com blog with Dynamic Page Solutions. My name is Jake Harris. I'm the Web Content Management here, and I'm going to walk you through the process. Today we're going to cover creating a Wordpress.com account, setting up your blog, customizing the blog, creating new posts, creating new pages, and creating entirely new blogs. We'll also cover what types of content make for good posts and how to do those different types of posts. Give you a little bit of background on WordPress. It's used in about out of every 6 websites on the internet. So if you think about it, that's a pretty large volume of sites. So obviously there's something to it. There are a couple different types of WordPress. There's a Wordpress.com blog, which is what we'll be setting up today. This is free. There are different plans that you can use and to add features that you pay for, like changing the domain name or different features like that, but we're just going to set up a basic free blog today. And there's also custom installations. That's where you download all the files for WordPress and install them on your own web server. That requires web hosting packages, a little bit of knowledge of code, and it's just a little more advanced. So we're going to stick to the free WordPress.com blog today. That is pretty simple to set up. It takes about 2 minutes to set up a new blog, and you don't have to know any code at all. So we'll go ahead and go to WordPress.com, and it'll get you to the screen here. You click Get Started. This is how you create a new blog. I have a dummy email set up here. So if you have any questions, do not email this address. Email jakeh@dynamicpagesolutions.com, and I will be happy to answer any questions you have. Switch back to WordPress here. You can set your username to whatever you want. It'll be how you log in, or you can also use your email address. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to hide this. Don't want you knowing my password. Okay, so here is your blog address. This is how people are what they're gonna type in the URL bar up here on the top to find your website. So we want this to be a little more user friendly. Let's just say webinars by dps.wordpress.com. You could see you can change it to anything you want. It could be DPS webinars.wordpress.com. So you can change that to match. You can change that to match whatever you want it to be. I'm going to leave it at webinars DPS just to keep things consistent. This is also where you see your first options that you can upgrade to. We're just going to leave it alone today, but if you're interested in this, you can change it to .com. So if I wanted this to be webinarsdps.com instead of webinarsdps.wordpress.com, you can do that for $18 a year. That's just a little customization feature that you can add on, but we're going to stick with the basic plan today. It's free. You can get an idea of the different features here for the premium and the business packages, but the free version is all we're going to need today. This is going to send you an email to whatever email address you signed up with. You need to confirm. So we're going to go into my email address here, and here it is, wordpress.com activate. This may look a little different depending on how your email client processes the email, but there will hopefully be an activate blog button somewhere in there. We're going to click that, and this is going to activate our blog. Wait for it to load here. So the first screen that's going to come up after you activate is this. It looks like a grid of a bunch of pictures here. They're wanting you to follow different types of blogs. Sort of like if you have a Twitter account or a Facebook account, if you follow someone, you get their posts. What they want you to do is find other blogs to follow their posts. You can go ahead and see if you find anything interesting. I recommend just skipping it for now. And here they're asking you to connect. All all this stuff. Your social media as well, same deal to try to find people. We're just going to skip that as well. And step 3 here is we're actually going to start customizing our blog. So our blog title, we want this to be Webinars by Dynamic Page Solutions. Now you can set that to whatever you want. If you are creating a blog about, say, Austin, Texas real estate, you could call it Austin, Texas real estate, or real estate in Austin, Texas, whatever you want. Be creative. And the tagline is just sort of like your slogan. So, real estate technology tutorials from Dynamic Page Solutions. And you're going to want it in English, obviously. So we'll go to the next step here. And this is going to ask you to choose a theme. We're going to skip this for now, and we're actually just going to jump right into our dashboard. You get to your dashboard by clicking this by clicking My Blogs here up on the top bar. And you'll see we have our blog here. We renamed it to Webinars by Dynamic Page Solutions. We're going to click through here, and this will load up our site. This is what our site looks like. So you can see it's been about 3 or 4 minutes, and we already have an entire website created. We're going to change this. Get rid of that now. Get rid of this now, and get rid of that. We're going to change this theme by going to our dashboard. You do that by highlighting on this top bar here, clicking through to Dashboard. And you'll come to this screen here. This is your dashboard. This is where you'll spend most of your time managing your WordPress sites. This is where you create posts and pages and manage all your different widgets, which we'll cover in a little bit here. It's kind of might be kind of overwhelming at first if you've never done anything like this, but take it one step at a time, and we'll have you using it like a pro in no time. So we're going to look at the navigation here on the left, this bar. We're going to look through all the different options we see here. So you have your home, which will take you to your main screen here. This is kind of like a summary of all the different things you've got here. So then moving down here, you have posts, which is your blog entries. Media, this is where you add pictures or other files. Links we'll ignore for now. Pages, this is how you, if you want like an About Us page or other types of information on a static page, you create it there. Comments, this is where people are commenting on your blog entries. And feedback is different forms. So we're gonna click on this appearance here. And what this does is brings up this appearance menu. You can see on the left here, we have themes, widgets, menus, and so on. We're gonna customize our theme. And what you can do is we're gonna open our site itself so we can see what we're doing. We're gonna open it in a new tab by right-clicking on the top here and clicking open like a new tab. That'll look a little different depending on the browser that you're using. This isn't a necessary step. It's just going to make it easier for us to switch back and forth and see what we're doing. So we're going to scroll through here and we're going to find a theme that we like. I like this linen theme here, but you can see it's got a premium button and you have to pay $68 for it. So we're going to ignore anything that has that premium tag. We're going to find a nice free one. Here's a nice looking one. So I'm going to click on the, excuse me. Okay, so once you find a theme that you like, let's go back and I'll show you to activate it. I skipped that. Appearance, themes. So I like this theme. It might have disappeared because we installed it already. So let's actually find a different one. Sorry about that. So I like this My Life one. So I'm going to click the theme. and it's going to show me a real-time preview of what my site will look like if I switch to this theme. So you remember we had that giant image on the top here with different type of font, different colors. This bar over here on the right looks a little differently. So this was what it was originally. With one click of a button, we can convert it to look like this. So I actually like this theme. I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Activate down here on the bottom right. And now that's going to publish my design. So now my website looks like this. So if we go back to our website, which is webinarsdps.wordpress.com, how we set it up in the first stage, we're going to refresh it. And you can see we changed how our entire site looks just by clicking a couple buttons there. And this is where the real strength of WordPress lies, that pretty much everything can be changed with just a few clicks. So let's go back to our site here and let's look at pages. This about is a page. This is a static page that always has a link to it on our navigation here. You'll notice the home page currently says nothing found. That's because we don't have any posts. Posts are going to be your entries that you generate on a regular basis. And the about pages will be static. They will always be there. They won't change. So we're going to go ahead and go to our pages on the left. And you can see a list of all your pages. Right now we only have one, which is the about. Let's go ahead and add a new page. And this will bring up your editor. This is a what you see is what you get editor. It's just like writing in Microsoft Word or something. So we can type some sample text here and then some content down here. So you could see you have a few options here up on the top for editing your text. We'll go ahead and bold this, make it a nice headline. And you can add some more options by clicking this Show Hide Kitchen Sink button here, and this will add a couple rows or another row of buttons here with a couple more features. So I actually want to make this sample text a header or a headline. So we're going to change it to heading 1. We're going to leave our content just fine. Now once you get your page just how you want it, you can preview it over here on the right. We're going to click the preview button. Oops, need to set a title. So we'll go to sample page. We'll set a title here. Try that again. Nope, it won't let us. I think you can only preview it after you've published it. So we're going to publish our page. We're satisfied with the way we set it up. And you'll see on the top here in a yellow box it says page published, and it gives you a link to view the page. We're going to click through and view it, and you can see we have our sample page, which was the title, our sample text, and our content. So again, the 3 parts are the title, the headline, and the content. So you can see we created a new web page here just simply by setting up a few text boxes and saving it. And we can do the same for posts. Posts, like I said, are going to be where your entries are. They're going to be sorted by date and by category and by tags here, as you can see on the left. So we're going to add a new post. And again, you get there by clicking Posts on your side menu over here and clicking Add New. So this is going to be new post number 1. Interesting information goes here. So we're going to go ahead and publish this. We're going to wait for it to load. And when you publish a new post, it automatically takes you to this screen here. And it'll give you some ideas of how to get the most out of your post over here on the left. We're going to ignore that for now and just look at our site here. So now we have our new post number 1, interesting information goes here. So if we want to go back and we'll look at our 3 parts again, we have a, we're going to go back to our dashboard. We're going to click all posts, and you can see in our list here, we have our new post number 1. We'll look at the 3 parts again. We have a new post number 1, your content, and actually we only have 2 parts in this one, so let's create a headline here. Interesting headline. So we'll go ahead and update that. Now, because we were just updating the post and it wasn't our first time creating it, it didn't give us that that spiffy window that came up before. So we'll just keep an eye out for this yellow box, post updated, and we're going to view the post. So now you can see I have my 3 parts. I have my title, my headline, oops, it's not letting me highlight the headline, and the content here. So again, in the matter of just a few minutes, we've created a new post and a new page. So you can see how easy this was. And we also set up a new template theme look for our page. So we're going to go back to our dashboard by highlighting this button here, menu, and clicking the dashboard button. So we're back to this screen here. So we showed you how to create a page, we showed you how to create a post. And let's say you create a post and you're not getting any traffic. Well, that's because nobody knows about your site. So a good idea is to share that on social media, and you can do this a number of ways. The easiest of which is by installing a widget. So we're going to show, or we're going to go through the dashboard. We're going to go back to our Appearance tab. It's going to bring up our menu on the left. This will populate themes automatically. Don't worry about that. We're going to click our widgets. And we have a list here of all the different widgets that you can put in. These are by default added on by Wordpresscom for every blog you create, so you don't have to go searching for them. You can just click right through from Appearances, Widgets, and then add them on there. So let's see if there's a Facebook like box. We can go ahead and connect that. And here you'll enter information. Each one of these widgets, when you add to the page, has some sort of configuration that you've got to do. So we'll call this DPS Facebook. And our Facebook URL, you can copy this from your own Facebook profile, but I happen to know it. We'll leave the height and the width the same. And we want to show the wall. So we saved that, and we're going to go back to our site by clicking this button up here. This will take us to our site so we can see it. I must have configured it wrong, but you can see here it added this section on the sidebar here. It says DPS Facebook, and it should have populated with images and posts from our Facebook, but it looks like I typed something in wrong. So we'll go back here, go to our Appearance, go to our Widgets, let's just test this URL out. I'm going to copy it and paste it into a new window here. Oops, that's what I did. It shouldn't have the dynamicpagesolutions.com. It should be dynamic page solutions. Go ahead and delete that. We'll save it. And then we'll get back to our site by clicking up here on the title. So there we go. You can see our Facebook. All of our different likes are on here. And it's also a button for new users to like it. So we're going to go back to our dashboard. You can also push the back button, but sometimes it won't update your pages. So it's usually best just to highlight your title here and click dashboard. I'm in the habit of clicking back, but it is a habit I should break and not one you should get into. So when you're on your site, get back to your dashboard by highlighting and clicking dashboard. Okay, so here we are back at our dashboard. I'm going to show you how to create some better posts before we just did our new post number 1 with a quick title and some fake content. So we're going to add a new post. And let's say we're going to write about finding the right home in Austin, Texas. So here, you can have a guide like searching online for new homes. Go ahead and turn this into a headline. Down here, and finding the right home can be difficult. Here are some tips. Some tips. And you can go ahead and list off some tips. We can do this using our text editor up here. So we are going to hit enter for a new line. And we're going to add an unordered list. This adds bullets. So we can have use specific searches. I don't know what that means, but we're just going to show you how to use the bullets here. This isn't actually tips for searching for a new home. I will leave generating that type of information up to you guys. Lastly, we will add another one. Broad, keep your price range broad. Okay, so you hit enter twice and it will clear your bullet point list. It'll automatically generate, obviously, if you hit enter once, just like Microsoft Word. You can also hit enter again and it will end your bullet list. So then we're going to add another section. We'll add another heading 1. Find the right real estate agent. And we'll just go ahead and copy this. But you can use the same types of things that we did before to create your content there. So we have a little different looking page. Let's go ahead and publish this so we can see what it looks like. I'm going to publish, and because it's our first time creating, it's going to take us to that special window, so we got to be super patient with it here. All right, so here we are. Here's our title. Here are our 2 headlines and our body content. So you can see that that's a pretty neat little page we've got set up, but it's missing something. I think it would do well with a photo. So I'll show you how to insert a photo. So while we're at this screen, we have this nice little edit post button. I'll go ahead and click that and come back. And this looks like a good spot for the image. So you're going to put your cursor wherever you want the image. You're going to come up here to this Add Media button. I'm going to click Add Media. And we have a whole host of options here on the left. We're going to we're going to click the Select Files button right here in the middle. And I just happen to have this image here. I'll go ahead and put that in. I know it's not relevant. And on the left here, we can change this to hard hat. We don't want a caption and don't necessarily need alt text. So we'll go ahead and insert it into the post. And we'll update it. And see, that was pretty simple. Now we've got a image in our post with just a couple clicks. We're going to click View Post. And there's our image right there. So you can see anytime you want to make changes, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple to upload photos, pretty simple to format text, and you can do that all without knowing a single code. You can also do that with your pages. So if we wanted to add, I'll go ahead and add we'll click through to our dashboard, go to our pages, and we'll edit our sample page. Now we'll go ahead and add my photo in here. So we're going to go to Add Media. We're going to click Upload Files here. And we're going to select the file. I'll go ahead and put my picture in there. Make it Jake for the alt text. Insert it. Update it. And we'll go back to the page. And now you can see, it's just like editing the post. So what I think we should talk about is what types of posts to create. And what we'll do is I'll go to your post. We're going to create a new post. And depending on your template, you're going to have a bunch of different options for formats here. I have an option for video as a part of this theme. So I'm going to go to YouTube. And I'm going to find a video. Let's see, we'll just search real estate, Austin, Texas. You might end up getting a couple of your competitors here, but we'll find something we like here. Well, I'll just go ahead and put this one in here. Okay, so we'll copy this URL here from the top, and we will go ahead and paste it in here. Let's see if that worked. It can be a little difficult to figure out. How to make the formats function. But the good thing about WordPress is you can never break anything. There's always a go back button. There's always an edit button. There's always a delete button. So yeah, all we had to do was copy and paste our URL, and it gave us this video. So let's say we wanted to write a little something. We're going to go back and edit this post. This video is a great resource for you. And we will insert a title, home buyer resource. And we're going to update. Post update in our yellow box here. Click View Post. And there we go. We have our little explanation down there and our title. All on this neat little video. All we had to do is copy and paste the URL. So the reason I show you that is because you obviously want to vary the types of posts that you do. If you only do posts which are texts and you just repeatedly post walls of text, you're not going to get a whole lot of interest. You need to vary your post style, and you can do that by experimenting with all the different post options that you've got based on your theme. Here we have an option for an image, an option for a quote, an option for a link, which is, say if you found an interesting, like a blog article from someone else's blog or a news article online, you can give a rundown of that article, post the link, and it'll generate some traffic for you, and you can also give a link to your partners or a news resource or wherever you got your information from. You can cite your information pretty easily. We're going to go back to our posts, and I'm going to show you one more thing. And that are the two more things, the categories and the tags. Right now, everything is defaulting to this uncategorized category. We're going to add a new one. We'll call this Austin, Texas. And we don't want it to be categorized under it, uncategorized, excuse me. So we have Austin, Texas selected. We're going to go ahead and update this. And we're going to move into our site so I can show you what it does. So now we're on our homepage here, and you can see we have all three of our posts. However, if we look on the right here, and this is sort of misleading because it says topics, these are actually categories. But we will click our Austin, Texas category, and you'll see it only shows that one post. The other two are still categorized under uncategorized. As you can see, we aren't seeing our Austin, Texas video. So that's because that's just a way to make it easier for users to navigate your site. Maybe if they're looking for information on a specific topic, they can just click one of those links and go straight to that. Good ideas for topics are like if you have information on foreclosures, that's a great category. Information on two-story homes or information on houses with pools. You can create topics for just about anything. We're going to go back to our dashboard, and we're going to look at the topics, or the tags, excuse me. All posts, edit, and we'll see the tags. Video, real estate, and home buyers. These aren't very good tags, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of what it does. This doesn't create a category or a link anywhere. What it does do is make it easier for people to find things when they're searching on your site. So we can see here, we'll click through to our video, and it'll show all our tags here. You can click those tags, and it will show you a list of all the videos, just like if you were to click it over here in the categories navigation section. So that's another way to categorize your videos, only it's a little more, a little less rigid. You can add different tags and excuse me, categorize your videos in a way that makes it a little less obtrusive for the user. So you can have maybe 10 different tags on a particular post, but you're not going to clutter up your navigation over here. Okay, so that pretty much wraps things up from the WordPress section. So if you guys have any questions, like I said, be happy to answer any of them you might have. jakeh@dynamicpagesolutions.com. If you'd like to learn more about Dynamic Page Solutions and Lead Performer, our lead generation package, check out our web pages at dynamicpagesolutions.com and leadperformer.com. You can also see our YouTube channel. There's all kinds of videos that explain who we are and what we do. And you can reach us by phone at 1-888-782-8184. I'll leave this up here for a minute or two to let you guys know, or excuse me, to get you guys time to write anything down you might need to. Thanks.